Welcome to Good News and Interviews with Forrest Lee. Ladies and gentlemen, we're in Rutledge, Alabama on Sipper Hill. We're with Tommy Sipper, and he makes homemade guitars. And it's a pleasure to be here, and thank you for having us
Yes, sir.
in your old home place.
Right.
And if you will, just kind of go through the process of making a homemade guitar.
Well, the first thing, I buy, if I'm gonna make them out of red mahogany, I buy red mahogany in 2x12, 12 foot long.
Okay.
And you rip it up, you get a 8-inch piece out of it and a 4-inch piece out of it. Well, you can make the sides out of the 4-inch. You put these two together. I get a fellow with a bandsaw to cut them open, make them that thin. I glue them together, then Kale runs them through his planer out there.
And KO's your brother,
Yeah.
one of your brothers.
He runs them through his planer and it'll end up thin like that. And that's bird's eye maple there. That's a rare wood.
Bird's eye maple?
Yeah, Lisa's got a whole guitar built out of bird's eye maple.
Okay.
But this is the form I made to put them in. And this block here, I noticed that the guitars to start with, the first one or two I made, it had a tendency to go down right there, you know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
So I started putting a block in there. And the fellow, Nonny Magoo, showed me his guitar that a fellow in North Alabama built. That's the reason I started building. He come down music making one night and he described how a fellow in North Alabama built his. That's all the information I had about building the guitar.
What year was this, Mr.?
That was in
Mr.
2005 when he come
Okay.
that night. And I've always hated carpenter work. I don't know why I started doing this, but I was a painter.
Okay.
I painted 57 years. Had to quit because I have macular degeneration so bad. But he described how you build it, and that's all the information I had about
Okay.
building one. I got Lisa's son, my grandson, DB, to get online, and he ordered me a damaged dobro out of California to see how it was made. So I took it apart, seen how it was made, and these little strips right there, it's in here,
Okay.
called perfing.
Perfin? Okay.
A 16-inch piece of that costs about $5. I take KO scraps over and rip them up, and I make them and put them over on the bandsaw and notch them. Don't cost nothing, you know what I mean?
Okay. So is this the beginnings of the outside of a guitar right here?
That's it.
That's the
the outside. Well,
Okay.
two. Let me tell you this first. You got to bend the side pieces here.
Yes, sir.
They make a electric iron in the catalog. We looked up in the catalog a while ago. It's $207 for electric iron. But I made that one for $11 out of pipe. I put a torch in the end of it there. You're supposed to soak your wood and then you bend it over that.
How long do you have to soak your wood? Overnight or?
No, you don't. Just so it gets. You soak it a few hours, it'll be out then. But I tell you what, you got to take your time. I was in too big a hurry. I broke several pieces before I learned how to do it. But I was in too big a hurry. You got to take your time and bend it.
Yes, sir.
But then I put that in there, and that stopped all that from bending down, you know. Then you put your top on there first. You glue it on there, then router it off, and then you turn it over and put your backs on it. So.
Okay.
That's,
Now, what are these little pieces here?
Well, you see.
We'll see some of that more.
Yeah, well, you see guitars up here, it's got these pieces in them.
Yes, sir.
In the backs of them. It all starts out with these strips.
Okay.
About 130 strips glued together
Yes, sir.
on the board. And then you cut them on a 45, and then you cut them in strips. How you 45, you cut it in strips.
You know, from here, it looks like it's 3D. It looks like it's like this.
Well, so you turn one way and one the other. How do you glue them? You got to glue them back together again. There's a lot of gluing and re-gluing to it. Oh.
Yes, sir.
Like Coach David says, it's a process.
Okay.
But it all starts out with these sticks in, you know.
Okay. The sticks on the outside, and then these.
Well, now the sticks on the outside is a different story. It's, is that the one that's straight sticks?
Yes, sir.
Well, KO had a bunch of wood out here. They about 20 different kinds of wood there, repeating itself over and over.
Yes, sir.
And you glue them together. And the first one I done, KO said I was defying physics. He said it wasn't gonna work. When I put it in that thing, it started popping and all, but it did work.
Well, Mr. Tommy, these are called solid guitars. Were these like some of the first ones you started making?
No. Well, the first one I made was this solid wood like that, and at least the second one was hers was bird's eye maple. The third one I made was solid. The fourth one I made was a cedar top, and I built them out of all kinds of wood. I built 33, and ain't none of them alike so far.
Right. Now, do you have a favorite type of wood that you like working with?
Well, the easiest wood to work with, down on the other end down there is what is that wood, Kale? The boy up here, the tree, give you a tree and you cut it. No, anyway.
Poplar?
No, anyway, that's the easiest wood to work with. It's but that's the same thing on the side. I just stained the side with a cherry red. The back of that one's got pieces in it. Yeah, the same as this.
Yes, sir.
They about 2,000 pieces on the back of them. Mm-hmm. I got two of pairs, got 3,000 on the back.
So, Mr. Sipper, if somebody wanted to buy a homemade guitar that you make, how would they get in touch with you?
Well, my phone number is 334-335-6389.
Okay.
Or you can call Lisa
Okay.
on her phone.
Okay.
334-300-7795.
All right. 334-300
7795.
7795. Okay.
Now this guitar is all
And how many strings it has? 6?
6, yes.
Okay. All of them are 6-string guitars?
Yeah, they all, well, Dobro stands for DeFeria Brothers.
Okay.
This is Sipper Brothers.
Cipro.
Kel helps me. He does all this. He does all the planing of the wood, sawing the wood, planing the wood. They does this out for me too. I mean, with a router for me to put the.
That's one of his brothers. We're going to talk to Mr. Cairo in just a few minutes.
Yeah.
But so far you've made how many? 30?
33.
33. And this is just one of the styles of guitars that you make. And
Yeah, that's young's a dreadnought. It's different shape than these others are.
But I asked you a question earlier before we got on the show about how much time do you think one guitar, do you have any idea how much time?
Well, I
one
work on
guitar
different ones. I don't just work straight on one. See, I got about 6 over there.
That you
I just work
started.
on different ones.
Okay.
I don't really want to know. I don't think.
Okay. And you've been doing this since what year?
Well, I built my first one in 2006. My daddy played a dobro. I never was interested in a dobro. Never got him to show me nothing. And what little bit I know about playing one, I learned on my own. So
Well, could you play one for us? You mind?
I can play
Or is there
one.
somebody in here that could?
I can play one a little bit and reckon. Did you get ready?
Wood.
This is mahogany on top of this one.
Okay.
You see how it streaks?
Now, if you will, hold that up and explain exactly what are these two things here. Is that where the music?
That's for sound and also, well, I'm gonna show you up there directly the sound well and all
Okay.
in here. But that's just for sound and for decoration too,
Okay.
But
Well, we can play one here in a little bit, or we can keep going down the row and
when we get down there, we'll play it if you
Okay.
want to.
all right. We're going to take a short break, and we'll be right back in just a minute.
Where should you go to find the best deals on a vehicle? Anywhere, anytime? PremierTroy.com. Shop our huge selection. PremierTroy.com. Pick your next vehicle. Pick your payment. Yes. Shop, save, and buy. PremierTroy.com. Nobody beats a Premier deal. Nobody.
If you've had an accident or just want a new look for your vehicle, come see us at Troy Paint and Body, where we do it right the first time. Our staff has more than 100 years combined experience and can handle repairs and paint work on any make or model. We also offer a lifetime guarantee as long as you own your vehicle. Now that shows we stand behind our work. And our 24-hour towing service means we're here when you need us. So come see us at Troy Paint and Body, located on South Brundage Street in Troy beside the post office. Troy Paint and Body, where we may meet by accident, but you'll be glad we did.
A personal touch, a high level of trust. Whether it's checking and savings accounts, personal or business loans, or our local friendly service. That's what Troy Bank and Trust customers expect. But now we offer more. Free identity theft protection for our new and existing customers, protecting your family's time, money, and good name from identity theft. Because protecting your identity is now a big part of our identity.
Brundage Building Supply and Paint Center at Jackson Hardware. 120 years and counting of real customer service with a smile and a heartfelt thank you for visiting with us. PPE, lumber, paint, building supply and roofing, guns, ammunition, American-made items, and oh, by the way, hardware.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're back on Sipper Hill. This is the home place of the Sipper family. And if you will, give us a little bit of history about your home here, your old home place, Mr. Sipper.
Cale can tell you more about that than I can. Really.
Okay. Well, let's finish on with the guitar segment. What do we have here?
Well, like I say, this is a sip-bro instead of a dobro, but this gives you the sound right here. This is that's the string where the strings go over it.
Now, where do you make this, or do you
No,
order?
I buy when I started out buying damaged guitars to get the parts.
Okay.
I had to buy new ones now to tear them up.
Okay.
So that's where that comes out of. Also, there was a sound well here. It had holes in it. I don't use the sound well. I put sound post like a fiddle has a sound post.
Yes, sir.
I put sound post in it. And but this is what is called a comb here. And this is the bridge here for the strings. And then you got what you call the cover plate, that goes on top of that.
Okay, cover plate.
So I use all the parts, and I use the neck off of them because it'd take long enough to build that neck. It'd take long to build the neck as it would the rest of it. But I chisel all this out. Kel helped me chisel this out because I can't see how to do it no more. But anyway, I got this ready to fit and glue together. I glue this right here with Gorilla Glue, the neck.
Okay.
The rest of it glued with outside exterior carpenter glue,
Now, your little pieces again on each side
Well,
that
when-
you see here.
When I see, you got to get it all lined up first before you can bolt them.
Okay. You
See,
line it up, okay.
You got to, what I do first, I put two strings. I put the bottom string and top string on here. You got to line it up this way and this way, So them two strings line it up both ways. You got a tail piece right there that you screw on there and hook the strings to. And that way you can tell when you get it straight,
Yes, sir.
And you can tell when you get it level by looking at the strings.
Okay.
If I had all the tools that you need to build a guitar, it'd be thousands of dollars. All I got is a belt sander, a vibrator sander, a drill, a pair of tin snips, and I use Kel's hacksaw. I use his table saw. I use his joiner here, and his band saw. That's it, and this cutoff saw.
Yes, sir.
So that's all the tools I got. But you're supposed to have, I showed you that a while ago, that little old bone nut right there. You're supposed to have 6 different saws to saw that with.
Really?
They got 6 different saws in that book catalog. I use one hacksaw. I just start it wide and get a little bit narrow all the way down, Everything I do is like that. I mean,
Now, this piece of wood I'm going to show right here, is that, excuse me, let's cut that off. We can edit that later. But this wood over here, is this, what,
that ain't nothing to do with what I'm doing now.
okay, nothing, okay, that's we'll get to that. That's probably one of them swing pieces of wood, okay. All right.
But
That is
and this here one too. show you the back. This here's an Alabama guitar. It's gonna be an Alabama guitar when I get on with it.
Okay. All right. Well, roll tide. That's good.
But this is ready to put together. All I gotta do is put the tailpiece on there and put 2 strings on there to line it all up with, and then I glue the neck on there, and then I can put all the rest of it.
Well, Mr. Simper, what did you do for a living before you started? I mean, what did you do for a living?
I was a painter for 57 years.
57 years, you had mentioned that. And you painted houses and
Houses.
inside and outside?
I paint anything that'd be still long enough.
Okay.
But yeah, I still be painting if I could see. I had to quit 2 years ago.
Yes,
But I hated carpenter work, but I guess it wouldn't work, but I never did like woodwork.
Yes.
But when Lonnie Magoo mentioned it, I just thought I was going to build one. KO was joking and said, I got some black walnut up in the barn out there. So he's going to go to Florida. I said, I'm going to get that black walnut. What you going to do? I'm going to build a guitar.
Well, Mr. Tommy, who's your bride and your children?
I married Lucille Duncan in 1962. I got a son, Ricky Sipper, was born in 63. Lisa was born in 66, Lisa Sipper, Roland, 66. I got a daughter, Leslie Helms, was born in 69.
Okay.
3 children.
How many grandchildren do you have?
5.
5. Any great-grandchildren?
2.
2. Okay, so the legacy lives. Now, where did y'all get your, now y'all are members of what church?
Rock Hill Church of
Rock
Christ,
Hill.
I am.
Okay.
Hill preached at Sardis 30 years, and he goes to Salem now.
Yes, sir.
He fills in over there preaching sometime.
So was your family gifted in the singing and playing of musical instruments?
Yeah, my mother met my daddy at a guitar picking and all. And yeah, him and his sister and my granddaddy played the fiddle. One of his fingers big as his neck. I don't say how he played the fiddle, but he could play the fiddle.
Wow.
And they all were gifted singing and playing, yeah.
Now, y'all have an annual Sipper singing, is that?
No, we used to have about 3 or 4 music makings a year. We ain't had one in over a year now. It's been probably 2 years.
One. If you ever have one, call me and we'll see if Troy Cable and we come down here and video it.
But
If y'all let us, if there's, that would be a.
when we was growing up, me and my brother slept we just had this, there was 2 rooms here and the kitchen and a little side room there. And me and my brother would be sleeping over here on the bed, and folks know Daddy would play with them if they come in. He'd come in way in and out. We'd be laying on the bed, and we'd wake up and be folks in here everywhere playing fiddle and guitars and all. We'd be ashamed to get up and ashamed to lay there, But anyway, it wasn't nothing. They know he'd play with them if he come over here, And Roscoe played with him a lot too.
We were talking about Roscoe Sexton. He's from the Hornoval area. And Roscoe Sexton and my daddy, Joe Lee, were second cousins. And I've been to Mr. Roscoe's, and I've heard him play, is it the steel guitar?
Played the dobro.
The dobro.
Yeah.
But I can remember I was probably 6, 7, or 8 years old, and I was just amazed.
He can play that thing too.
Tell him why you're a painter, Tommy.
Huh?
Tell him why you chose painting.
Well, my daddy told me to do something that everybody else hated, and I'd always have a job, and I always had one. And especially when I started painting for the Bridge Club ladies, they all advertised for me. And I worked for one contractor. I done all this sheetrock work and painting on new houses. He built about 65 new houses. I done all the sheetrock work and painting on all of them. And all of my regular customers knew to wait for me, I'd have a list. I can't stand for nobody to wait on me, but I'd have a list. When I got to their name, it was their time. I'd call them and they'd be ready.
Yes, sir.
So I was booked up all the whole time.
Okay.
And,
It raised a.
I didn't realize how much I did like painting until I had to quit. So anyway, you need to like what you do, but I didn't realize I liked it that good.
Well, we're going to scan the room with a camera and let's make sure we get all these beautiful guitars here. And we'll let's kind of lift it up where we get a good view of each one. And,
That's the one I play most of the time.
okay.
And this one here has got 3,000 pieces on the back, about 14 on the side. The same thing here. This is a bird's eye maple,
Yes, sir.
and this is red mahogany. This has got 3,000 pieces on the back. The rest of most of them's 2,000.
Yes, sir.
This is one that's got the big pieces on the back. When we first started out, they started coming all the pieces, and so that's as small as I could make it start with. But anyway, I figured out a way that I could make them smaller.
Yes, sir.
And I tore my thing off. That's that there's diamonds on the back of that, and yeah,
Yes, sir.
that's different than the rest of them. Pieces on the side, sticks. And that's 2,000 on the back and sticks on the side.
Yes, sir. These are solid guitars here.
Yeah. All them just plain
And the
wood.
style of guitar, you call them
Cipro.
Cipro.
Yeah, the Fury Brothers was Dobro. That's where they got the Dobro. So this is Cipro Brothers.
Well, again, if you're interested in buying a homemade guitar from Mr. Sipper, you can call 334-300
$77.95.
$77.95.
334-335-6389.
There we go. And we're in Crenshaw County, just outside of Rutledge on Sipper Hill. It's a beautiful place, and we're in the old home place of the Sippers. And the Sipper brothers, they build swings and they build guitars, homemade swings and guitars.
I also want to tell you about my book.
Okay? Yeah, please do.
Is this thing still working? I got it in my hand.
We can take a quick break. Yeah.
Where should you go to find the best deals on a vehicle? Anywhere, anytime? PremierTroy.com. Shop our huge selection. PremierTroy.com. Pick your next vehicle. Pick your payment. Yes. Shop, save, and buy. PremierTroy.com. Nobody beats a Premier deal. Nobody.
If you've had an accident or just want a new look for your vehicle, come see us at Troy Paint and Body, where we do it right the first time. Our staff has more than 100 years combined experience and can handle repairs and paint work on any make or model. We also offer a lifetime guarantee as long as you own your vehicle. Now that shows we stand behind our work. And our 24-hour towing service means we're here when you need us. So come see us at Troy Paint and Body, located on South Brundage Street in Troy beside the post office. Troy Paint and Body, where we may meet by accident, but you'll be glad we did.
A personal touch, a high level of trust. Whether it's checking and savings accounts, personal or business loans, or our local friendly service. That's what Troy Bank and Trust customers expect. But now we offer more. Free identity theft protection for our new and existing customers, protecting your family's time, money, and good name from identity theft. Because protecting your identity is now a big part of our identity.
Brundage Building Supply and Paint Center at Jackson Hardware. 120 years and counting of real customer service with a smile and a heartfelt thank you for visiting with us. PPE, lumber, paint, building supply and roofing, guns, ammunition, American-made items, and oh, by the way, hardware.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're back with Mr. Tommy Sipper, and he's going to talk to us about his book that he has written. It's called Chapters of My Life. Go ahead, Mr. Sipper.
When crazy things was happening on the job or something during the week, I would tell Bob, I said, I wrote another chapter today. So he named it Chapters, you know. That's where we got that from. This is humorous stories, a real life situation. All this stuff really happened. It's in 3 different sections. Then they got a section on my guitars. Then it's got a section, recipes. And that different people that I worked for, they would give me recipes. And so, but it's just short stories, all up short stories. You know.
And they could get one.
Well,
Could get one from you, but this is called. Where can you buy one? Is it online?
you can get them at
Amazon.
Amazon.com. Yeah.
Okay.
Or we
So
can get them from
Oh, okay. For Mr. Sipper, you can go to Amazon.com, look for Chapters of My Life. It's humorous stories of real life situations by Storyline Tommy Sipper. Happiness is a journey, not a destination. Just try to enjoy the trip. And there's the back of the book, Chapters of My Life, and these are these your hands or your
Yeah.
daddy's hands?
That's my hands.
Okay. Okay. He builds them, he plays them. And we're going to hear some live music in just a minute. Okay, good. Brother
We need to
Bob
announce
with him.
it again.
Okay. You don't need me for that. We can let you.
You need to say it again whenever you get ready, so Abel, whenever you're ready there, let him give him the cue.
Okay. When she gives you the cue, Daddy, say sailing along, so we know what it is. Okay, I'm ready.
Sailing along. Now I'm gonna play Wabash Cannonball, a little bit of it, and that's it. That's it.
Well, all right. I guess we'll. That's all
Where should you go to find the best deals on a vehicle? Anywhere, anytime? PremierTroy.com. Shop our huge selection. PremierTroy.com. Pick your next vehicle. Pick your payment. Yes. Shop, save, and buy. PremierTroy.com. Nobody beats a Premier deal. Nobody.
If you've had an accident or just want a new look for your vehicle, come see us at Troy Paint and Body, where we do it right the first time. Our staff has more than 100 years combined experience and can handle repairs and paint work on any make or model. We also offer a lifetime guarantee as long as you own your vehicle. Now that shows we stand behind our work. And our 24-hour towing service means we're here when you need us. So come see us at Troy Paint and Body, located on South Brundage Street in Troy beside the post office. Troy Paint and Body, where we may meet by accident, but you'll be glad we did.
A personal touch, a high level of trust. Whether it's checking and savings accounts, personal or business loans, or our local friendly service. That's what Troy Bank and Trust customers expect. But now we offer more. Free identity theft protection for our new and existing customers, protecting your family's time, money, and good name from identity theft. Because protecting your identity is now a big part of our identity.
Brundage Building Supply and Paint Center at Jackson Hardware. 120 years and counting of real customer service with a smile and a heartfelt thank you for visiting with us. PPE, lumber, paint, building supply and roofing, guns, ammunition, American-made items, and oh, by the way, hardware.
We're with Mr. K.O. Sipper, one of the other brothers here on Sipper Hill, and I don't have dandruff. We just ran a little bit of pine wood through his sawmill, but thank you for having us, and kind of explain to the crowd or to the audience what we have here, Mr. Sipper.
Well, this is a old-time circular saw. I bought it in '96 out of Kansas City, Missouri.
Yes, sir.
And when it came in, fellas brought it on a heavy-duty pickup truck and in boxes, and I had to put it together.
Yes, sir.
And but I've had it since '96. That's 25 years ago. And but I've sawed a lot of lumber, and it has 30 teeth on the blade.
Okay.
And the teeth have to flare out like this because you don't want the lumber running on the blade. The teeth have to be wider than the blade.
Okay.
And then after they get worn down a little bit, you got a tool that you put on it and hit it with a hammer to swedge it to open it back up again.
Okay.
Make it wider.
And that's how many inches wide?
Well,
the
it's
blade?
about a 1/4 inch wide.
I mean, but the diameter or the width.
Oh, the blade 46 inches.
Okay. Now, how long does a blade typically last?
Well,
Depends on I know how much you use it.
I've had that one on there about a year, but
Okay.
other one I used 24 years, and it's still good.
Yes, sir.
Just changed blades on it, and this one's running just fine. The other one running fine too, but I decided to change blades on it. Right. But I suppose if you keep it up and keep the teeth sharp, that it'll last forever.
So what is there a type of wood that's harder on the blade than other types of wood?
Well, oak wood is harder to saw, and hickory or sycamore and stuff like that, but pine is sort of soft, and it's still green, as you can see, and cedar is real soft, and cypress is really, really soft. Mm-hmm. It takes about 6 months for cypress to dry and about 3 months for the pine to dry.
Okay.
But I stack it out here on the barn and stack it on sticks in order for it to dry.
Yes, sir.
And wind can blow in all directions on that shed there.
Okay.
And after I dry the lumber, I stack it over in that other shed over there, and
So if a
you can flat stack it.
yes. So if a customer wants some wood cut up, they bring it to you.
And I use their own halves.
Okay. And how can they get in touch with you? The people that may not know of.
Well, you can call me at 334-335-6370.
Yes, sir.
That's my phone number and the only number I have. So
Okay.
you can call that number. And usually what I do, I don't have access to lumber here, but I saw on halves with folk. What I do, I make 2 piles out there. And when the customer comes back to get it, he can get either pile he wants and he can't complain.
Yes, sir.
That way, he chooses the pile he wants to take back.
Yes, sir.
And therefore he can't fuss about it.
Okay. Now, what did you do for a living before you? What did you do?
I was a carpenter for about over 50 years, and built houses and remodeled houses and built cabinets mostly.
Okay.
Built kitchen cabinets. But I'm mainly in the porch swing business now.
Yes, sir.
Porch swings
Okay.
since I retired.
Yes, sir. And what about your family? Who did you marry, and who are your children?
Well, I met Olivia Carter in college at Alabama Christian College, and we married in '69. And I have 2 boys. Joshua lives in Wetumpka, has 2 boys, and Samuel lives in Hazel Green. That's right north of Huntsville.
Okay.
He has twin girls and a boy.
Okay.
So we got 5 grandchildren
Well,
altogether.
that's wonderful. That's
Yeah.
wonderful. The anything else on this part of the spectrum of wood cutting that we can talk about before we go to the next stage?
Well, you notice a ramp out here. I load the logs on the ramp with that fork thing there.
Yes, sir.
And the Lord made them round so they'd roll up there, and
There
then
you
we
go.
square them up.
There you go. Yeah.
We square them up and then start sawing, like you say. But when I pull that thing out, it saws it about 1/16
Okay.
is what it does.
Yes, sir.
And up there I have a planer mill that I
Okay.
can run it through and smooth it down,
Let me let you hold this for a minute. I see an instrument I want you to explain.
All right.
I've seen these around, and I don't know what it's for. But Mr. Sipper, tell us what this is.
That's what they call a can hook that you turn the logs with,
Okay.
and it swings up like that so you can hook it in the log and roll them up on the ramp. And also to turn them, when you get it up here, you saw one side and turn it, and saw the other side and turn it, saw the third side and turn it, saw the fourth side and turn it. You square the log up,
Yes, sir.
and then you can start sawing the boards
Right.
after that,
You didn't buy this last week. This is
Well, I made the handle on it. Yeah,
Okay.
it's old.
that's good.
Yeah, that's a can hook. Now that one over yonder, if you
This one.
no, the one way over yonder, I don't know if you can reach it or not, but it's called a peavy.
Okay.
A peavy has a point on it.
Okay. Let me get that one. So
All right. If you can get over there and get it. Yeah, you made it.
this is what we call a peavy.
Yeah, the only difference between it is it's got a point on it.
All right, let me get both of them together.
Yeah.
Okay.
See, that one doesn't have a point.
Yes, sir.
And with this one used on the other end of the log, because you have to push it up on the log and push it. And so that's what the point's for.
Yes, sir.
It's called a peavy.
Okay.
So that's the difference between the two, is one of them has a point, one of them doesn't have a point on it.
Well, let's take and you've got a little conveyor belt that takes the sawdust
Yeah,
to a pile that kind of keeps you from having to scoop it out right there under the blade.
yeah.
And,
And I got a roller here that rolls this out, see?
Yes, sir.
Rolls the lumber out.
Yes,
I usually have a four-wheel wagon sitting out here when I saw them for myself, and I loaded on that four-wheel wagon. load all the lumber on it.
Yeah.
I've got it loaded with lumber out in the barn now. I hadn't stacked it yet.
Okay. Well, we're going to take up a quick break, and we'll be back with you in just a few minutes.
Where should you go to find the best deals on a vehicle? Anywhere, anytime? PremierTroy.com. Shop our huge selection. PremierTroy.com. Pick your next vehicle. Pick your payment. Yes. Shop, save, and buy. PremierTroy.com. Nobody beats a Premier deal. Nobody.
If you've had an accident or just want a new look for your vehicle, come see us at Troy Paint and Body, where we do it right the first time. Our staff has more than 100 years combined experience and can handle repairs and paint work on any make or model. We also offer a lifetime guarantee as long as you own your vehicle. Now that shows we stand behind our work. And our 24-hour towing service means we're here when you need us. So come see us at Troy Paint and Body, located on South Brundage Street in Troy beside the post office. Troy Paint and Body, where we may meet by accident, but you'll be glad we did.
A personal touch, a high level of trust. Whether it's checking and savings accounts, personal or business loans, or our local friendly service. That's what Troy Bank and Trust customers expect. But now we offer more. Free identity theft protection for our new and existing customers, protecting your family's time, money, and good name from identity theft. Because protecting your identity is now a big part of our identity.
Brundage Building Supply and Paint Center at Jackson Hardware. 120 years and counting of real customer service with a smile and a heartfelt thank you for visiting with us. PPE, lumber, paint, building supply and roofing, guns, ammunition, American-made items, and oh, by the way, hardware.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're back with the Sipper brothers here on Sipper Hill, just outside of Rutledge, Alabama, in Crenshaw County. I'm Forrest Lee, and I want to thank Ava Jackson for coming with me today to film this. And we have Mr. K.O. Sipper. He's the swing maker. We're swinging in one of his swings. What type of wood is this, Mr. Sipper?
It's poplar wood.
It's made out of poplar.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite type of wood that you use when you make swings?
Well, I'd rather use cypress, but I'm just about out of cypress now. That's my favorite wood to use is cypress wood.
Okay. Why is that? Is it easier to work with, or?
It's real soft, yeah, and it weathers real good. You know, if somebody wants to hang one outside.
Yes, sir.
And it weathers a whole lot better. And that one on my porch out there is 35 years old, so it's been around a long time.
It looks like it was built last week to me. Do you put something on them when you put them outside in the weather? What do you recommend putting on them as far as
it'd be better to spray them with water seal, like Thompson water seal.
Just spray them?
Okay. Put it in your pump up sprayer and spray it with water seal.
Okay.
Is the best thing to do, you know, to protect it. And then
how often would you need to do that? The next time you do that, would you have to wash it first, make sure it's clean? And then,
well, if you get it outside, it's going to turn like the one on the porch. I mean, that one yonder turned anyway, and it's going to turn gray, you know. But
yes, sir.
You can spray water seal on it with gray, or if you want to bleach it back out, you can spray it with Clorox first, you know, and then bleach it back out, and then you can spray it with water seal.
About how often do you need to do that?
About every 2 years.
Every 2 years.
That, yeah.
Now, if someone wanted to buy a swing, I know we talked about your sawmill, if somebody needed some logs cut up, but as far as your swings, do you market these like at different fairs, events, or do you just by word of mouth?
It's usually by word of mouth. It travels around, you know, and I was on County Road 12 not long ago, and I got several orders after that.
Well, good. Well, I hope you get some in Troy, Alabama, and throughout. So we cover a lot of counties. And,
yeah.
But mentioned to you before we got up here back in the house, the home place. This is probably at the top of my list of the shows that I've done over the past year. Has been here in Cypher Hill.
Well, thank you.
And visiting y'all. Now, when you build a swing, how much time does it take roughly to build one particular swing? And you make what kind of sizes of swings?
Well, there'll be a 4 foot, 5 foot, and 6 foot. 4 foot is $80, 5 foot's $90, and a 6 foot's $100. But I don't really know how long it takes because I just do it a little at a time, you know, and,
yes, sir.
And takes several days, you know, to build one. But I suppose I could build one in about 4 hours if I started and
yes,
finished, you know.
Uh-huh.
But I just do it a little at a time, and I furnish your chains with them too.
Yes, sir. And you help your brother. Do you help him cut the wood for his guitars and all? Or
well, he usually cuts the wood. I usually do the routing for him and for the band that goes around it, and help him chisel out for the neck and so forth. So I just help him a little bit on that.
yes, sir. Well, Mr. Cypher, I wanted to ask you some more personal questions about your family, specifically your mother and your dad, and your siblings, if you will. Kind of give us the history of your home place here.
Well, my daddy was born here in this house, and all his siblings, there were 6 of them all together, and the oldest one died and the youngest one died, so they ended up 4.
Of his brothers and sisters?
Yeah, I had 3 boys and a girl.
Okay.
And he married my mother in 1939, and Olivia and I married in 69, and Josh and Rachel married in 99, so 30 years apart.
Okay.
So anyway, Daddy was a farmer. He farmed with my granddaddy, and finally he started carpenting in about 1958, and he carpentered for many years and truck farmed, and he was in the honeybee business. He had about 150 hives at one time.
Right.
And we took off about 400 gallons of honey every summer.
Yes, sir. Ava, you think this squeaks too much for the... Well, listen. It doesn't bother me if it don't bother y'all. But we can cut this part out later. But if it's squeaking too much...
It's really just picking up your mic. Like the sound.
Oh, so that's okay?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Let's go back. Well, she'll edit all that. But your mother's... what was your mother's maiden name?
She was a Knighton from around Bradleyton, Alabama.
Bradleyton.
There were 14 in her family altogether.
Right. I know George and Vicky Browder. You know George Browder, Browder Veneer.
Yeah.
And matter of fact, that's how I found this place, is through Tori Browder Peacock, and her husband was on the show, and is a fabulous singer. And they got little Mikey and they got Lucy. They call her Sugarfoot's, what George calls her Sugarfoot. And I know them through Al and Joy Sanders from Goshen, and so it all connects together. And I wanted to mention this, Ava Jackson goes to Troy University. She's in the sorority of Phi Mu, which my daughter was a member of. And whose granddaughter?
Tommy's granddaughter.
Tommy's granddaughter, and her name is?
Holland Helms.
Holland Helms, and she's engaged to a Lowry boy who grew up down there in Brantley, Alabama, Trey Lowry,
Yeah.
who is a fraternity brother of mine.
Yeah.
So the swings, you can get a 6-footer for $80, a 5-footer for $90, and a 6-footer for $100 at KO's Cabinet Shop. And here's the sign here. We'll get a shot of it in a minute. But so your father farmed, and was he a carpenter as well, or he could do just about everything?
He started carpentering about 58, something like that. He quit farming, but he kept on truck farming. He raised watermelon and peas and butter beans, and then he went in the sugar cane business. They sold 13,000 gallons in 7 years.
Yes, sir.
Of sugar cane juice. He sold juice. Folks told him it wouldn't work, but he showed them it would.
It would. If there's a will, there's a way. And this is a beautiful home place.
Yeah.
And it'd be wonderful if everyone had a home place like this to go and visit. And,
We got 70 acres here altogether.
yes, sir.
Got
And-
40 acres of pine trees planted on.
And before we started the show, this land became in the family in what year?
It was homesteaded, this 40 up here in 1860. And the 40 down here was homesteaded in 1853. And the 40 down here was homesteaded in 1852.
Yes, sir.
So my great-great-granddaddy named Samuel homesteaded the land. So we, of course, this house here was built in 1915 when my grandparents married in
Yes, sir.
1915. So it's been here 107 years now.
Right. Well, let's pick up that piece of iron right there, and what is that right there for? Is that
This is
a fire stick?
fireplace poker.
Okay, that's an
Yeah.
oldie but a goodie there. Let's
It's actually a wagon rod is what it's made.
Okay.
It is. It went across in a wagon and had threads on it on the end, and you screw the thing up and tighten the bodies up on the wagon.
okay.
And so that's what that is, a wagon rod right there. And I just bent it to,
Okay,
to
stir.
turn
Okay.
wood in the fireplace with. That's what that is. I've got one in my house and got one in here in this house too.
Yes, sir.
There's my wife coming out here.
Oh, here comes the boss. Fix 2 more for supper. But anyway, well, Mr. Sippers, anything like you'd like to add? Again, I want to thank the Sippers for having me on the show or having us at your home place, and
Yeah.
we look forward to. We're going to show this in our next show, which will be next Monday night. And for the audience out there, our show comes on Troy Cable Channel 2 from 7 to 8 o'clock on Monday nights. And also, the replay will be on Wednesday nights from 9 till 10 o'clock at night. And it's Channel 2 on Troy Cable. You also can follow us on Facebook or YouTube. Go to Troy Cable Productions and type in Good News and Interviews with Forrest Tree Lee, and you can find it there.
Okay.
And it may take a week for this show to be on that, but again, I want to thank y'all for having us, and
Yes, sir.
we certainly have enjoyed our time here. And
We appreciate you coming.
can you play an instrument or sing?
I sing. I help them sing. I can't
Okay.
play a thing.
Okay.
I play the harmonica a little bit. That's all.
Yeah.
But I just help them sing.
Well, that's the one instrument my daddy could play. He could play the harmonica a little bit, but
Yeah.
I think I'm a singer, but anyway. But but I admire people who can work with their hands, especially woodworking, and be it swings, be it guitars, or whatever. And I certainly admire singers, and I like the a cappella part of it. And again, y'all, where do you attend church?
Well, Olivia and I go to Salem Church of Christ. I'm an elder in the church there.
Where is that located?
It's above Hornoval, about 6 miles above Hornoval,
Going toward Greenville or Montgomery?
going toward Montgomery from
Okay.
Hornoval.
Okay. Okay.
And our preacher is named Larry Brady.
Larry Brady.
Larry Brady is our preacher.
When's y'all's church service typically?
We meet at 10 and 11 on Sunday and 7 on Wednesday night. Yeah.
Okay.
We don't meet in the afternoon.
Now, what church did y'all grow up in?
We grew up in the Church of Christ, Rock Hills, actually my home congregation.
Yes, sir.
I said I was going to go back over there when I get 80 years old.
Well, what year did you graduate high school?
65.
65. Okay.
So I'm 74 years
Okay, I
old.
was going to do the reverse math. Yeah. You said 65, so you got me about 12 years. Okay. Yeah. But anyway, well, listen, thank you so much,
Yes, sir.
Mr. Sipper, for having us. And ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Sipper family that we've been with. We're on Sipper Hill, just outside of Rutledge, Alabama. Is it County Road 35?
Yeah.
County Road 35 here in Crenshaw County, and it's a great place to live, to raise your youngins and grandyoungins, and we'll see you next week on Good News and Interviews with Forrest Lee. Thank you.
should you go to find the best deals on a vehicle? Anywhere, anytime? PremierTroy.com. Shop our huge selection. PremierTroy.com. Pick your next vehicle. Pick your payment. Yes! Shop, save, and buy. PremierTroy.com. Nobody beats a Premier deal. Nobody!
If you've had an accident or just want a new look for your vehicle, come see us at Troy Paint and Body, where we do it right the first time. Our staff has more than 100 years combined experience and can handle repairs and paint work on any make or model. We also offer a lifetime guarantee as long as you own your vehicle. Now that shows we stand behind our work. And our 24-hour towing service means we're here when you need us. So come see us at Troy Paint and Body, located on South Brundage Street in Troy beside the post office. Troy Paint and Body, where we may meet by accident, but you'll be glad we did.
A personal touch, a high level of trust. Whether it's checking and savings accounts, personal or business loans, or our local friendly service. That's what Troy Bank and Trust customers expect. But now we offer more. Free identity theft protection for our new and existing customers, protecting your family's time, money, and good name from identity theft. Because protecting your identity is now a big part of our identity.
Brundage Building Supply and Paint Center at Jackson Hardware. 120 years and counting of real customer service with a smile and a heartfelt thank you for visiting with us. PPE, lumber, paint, building supply and roofing, guns, ammunition, American-made items, and oh, by the way, hardware.